Yo, what's up with y'all, man? I hope you're doing good. If you're new and you're a fan of the NBA, subscribe to this channel. So let's get straight into it.
It's like it's Minute Maid, hijack 4, renegade, 24, number 8, Kobe shit fade away, ballin' since 11th grade, still in school, let him hate.
LaMelo Ball, quite possibly one of the most talented league guard prospects we've ever seen. He's here, and by the time you're watching this very video, he's already played his first regulated NBA game. Something that should have happened like 5 months ago. Pain. He is a 6'8" PG that many of us have been waiting for to arrive and show the entire NBA his ability. His crazy confidence, that damn near generational passing vision, all while being a 6'8" scoring threat point guard, is a nightmare to any defense in the league. But what if I was to tell you that you're worried about the wrong 6'8" guard, and that there was another one, someone possibly even better than LaMelo Ball, waiting to pop out into the streets once his time comes? Now don't get me wrong, LaMelo Ball is worth the hype. I believe in every single thing that scouts tell you about him. His ability to read the game and see a lot of things before anyone else on the court can see is just instinctual, and you can't find that in the average point guard these days in the NBA. You can't find a 6'8" point guard like him these days in the NBA all too often. Scouts have been beating into our head that this man is literally oozing talent, and what helps in all those skills that he possibly haven't even found out about himself is that this man is only, 19, 20 years old. Now what makes LaMelo's case even sweeter is his situation in Charlotte. It is actually good. I ain't gonna lie, this entire time before he got drafted, I was worried about the situation that he would be placed in and whether or not it would be a good fit or team for him to allow him to grow and glow. Without any real opportunity, good players around him, not only mentally but actually who complement his game, there was no way in hell this man will reach his max potential. It's almost impossible for that to happen. LaMelo Ball is literally the only prospect on earth that I personally know, well, I don't personally know him, but that I know of, who could literally score 0 points and still be trending on Twitter. And not in a bad way either, but in a good way, because the man had like 10 boards and 5 or 4 assists, and those 5 or 4 assists were flashy as heck. I know you see, I'm gonna play it right now. I know you saw that behind the back pass to Miles Bridges. It was so sexy, so smooth and spontaneous. That's why people go over LaMelo Ball for things like that, passes like that, and flashes like that. Those are flashes of greatness and what he can possibly be in the future on a consistent basis. I ain't gonna lie, I pretty much felt this since day one, ever since LaMelo was projected to be an NBA player about last year or the year before last year. Now he does have his weaknesses, I ain't gonna lie. Of course, almost every prospect has their weaknesses. His free throw shot is not really that great, or nor just his shot in general. His mechanics are kind of wonky, but regardless of the fact, he still has the confidence and feels like he has the right to pull it from 30 feet, even though he is a horrible three-point shooter, but he still does it. Why? Because he feels like he can make it. And one of the most important things about young prospects is that confidence, and LaMelo Ball just has that confidence because he's been there and done that in the past. No other prospect has gone through more than LaMelo Ball. The haters do have a point. Yes, his shooting does need work, but that's nothing not normal for any young point guard coming into the NBA. And also, yes, he does need to work on going to the free throw line, taking contact, and also his defense. Those are all weaknesses of his, but that's just not an uncommon weakness for young point guards coming into the NBA. He's just a young point guard who has a lot of potential to overcome those weaknesses. This 6'8" point guard is destined to be great, but another 6'8" point guard's career in the NBA may be even greater once he actually gets here. Cade Cunningham is the name, and you better remember it. He is the prospect so many have been raving about over the last 12 months, and they've been putting him in the same rare air as Luka Doncic, meaning that he is in the same tier as Luka. Something that I'm not comfortable doing yet when it comes to watching basketball, young players play basketball, is putting too much stock into high school players and players who are overseas and who aren't a year away from coming into the NBA. Like, I don't like to put too much stock or too much pressure onto those dudes, and a lot can happen once they face tougher competition. I like to evaluate them once they get onto the college level or some other level overseas. And what do you know, Cade Cunningham is one of the very few prospects from high school who was able to translate all his special talents into college directly, right away, and as smoothly as possible. In the only 6 games he's played, he's already had a buzzer beater winning 3, and he's put on a display for his poor Oklahoma State team, and he's led them to 6-0 while averaging 19 points, 4 assists, and 6 rebounds on 48% from the field and 47, damn near 48% from the 3-point range on nearly 4 attempts per game. Now when you look at those numbers, they don't really scream superstar or anything like that. It's not really anything too special or anything to knock you off your socks. His efficiency is really nice, but outside of that, everything just may be, or it may at least seem like it's average. But let me tell you right now, that's not the case. I believe it only seems like that because his team kind of sucks. In these 6 games that I've watched Cade Cunningham, he clearly stands apart, and most of the time, just about every time on the court, literally every time on the court actually, he is the best player on the court. He just stands apart, and to simply put it, he's different from everybody else on the court. He's just built different, might I just say. Now if you were to watch him play, you'd notice that he's not the best athlete out there on the court, but nor is he a liability or should be considered as a bad or subpar athlete at all. No, he's slightly above average. He's just not out here doing crazy John Morant type dunks or even being that explosive with his first step, just like a LaMelo Ball. That is one of the reasons why so many compare him to Luka Doncic. He gets his buckets in a similar way to Luka Doncic. He's able to lull the defense to sleep and get to his spots perfectly by using his massive frame compared to his competition, at least, to get off the shot that he wants. He is a 3-level scorer. He can give it to you in any way possible that you can imagine. He can of course hit you with a little step back, give you a post hook inside the paint if he wanted, or even pull up for a mid-range shot. Whatever you want, Cade Cunningham has it for you. He is by far one of the most versatile point guards that I've seen in a very long time. I believe Cade is going to be a lot better of an NBA player than LaMelo Ball is, because what many classify as weaknesses for LaMelo are actually strengths for Cade. People talk about LaMelo Ball's shot selection. Sometimes he just gets a little bit too cocky and confident and lets it fly in the most not opportune time. Cade, on the other hand, doesn't try to force anything, and he lets the game just come to him rather than him applying pressure and forcing the issue. Let's talk about his free throw percentage and just jump shot as a whole. Cade Cunningham's jumper as a whole is just better. He's more of an efficient player than LaMelo Ball. He's able to finish at the rim through contact because he has a nice stature and frame, and he actually is strong, unlike LaMelo Ball, who is on the skinnier side of things. Both are shockingly similar prospects. Both of their biggest strengths is passing the rock, which is quite ironic as well. The only difference between the two is that LaMelo Ball has that flash and flare that we rarely see from any point guard in the NBA, and that there was another one, someone possibly even better than LaMelo Ball, waiting to pop out into the streets once his time comes. The only difference between the two is that LaMelo Ball just has more sauce and he carries himself with more swagger. I'm not gonna lie, he may be the swaggiest point guard of this entire decade. I'm gonna give that to him. But Cade Cunningham, of course he is a good passer, like I said. He's an elite passer in my mind, at least, but he just doesn't add that flair. He's not going to do much of the behind the back stuff. He's not going to flick his wrist like a LaMelo Ball would. But other than that, it just feels like Cade Cunningham is the more polished, defined, and sublime prospect out of the two, who virtually has no holes in his game. He's a steady prospect who's ready for whatever and can adapt to any environment and situation you put him into. Cade Cunningham is just like that. I didn't even mention the man's defense. He's actually super solid at that, and he's an excellent help defender and actually a pretty good shot blocker too. Cade can be placed on any NBA roster right now and benefit everyone on the team, while at the same time not compromising any of his stats or even skills at either. The only thing some might have to say about Cade Cunningham, which is just a reach of an argument, and I ain't gonna lie, you're just a pure hater if you say something like this, is that that man is slow and he's not explosive enough to keep up with the guards in the NBA today. Like, bro, like why are you saying this like he moves like he's an Enes Kanter or even a Hassan Whiteside? Like, no, this man is a guard. He's an athletic guard, and just like Luka Doncic, sure, he may not be the quickest on the court, but he is quicker than Luka Doncic. He is a better athlete than Luka Doncic. He's more athletic than Luka Doncic. He has more hops than Luka Doncic. Now, of course, that's not saying much, because Luka Doncic is really not much of any of those things, but regardless of the fact, that still allows Luka to be, a lot of people argue, a top 5 player in the NBA today, and also the favorite to win MVP, and that's all I'm saying. So for someone like Cade Cunningham, who gets his buckets in a similar way, who may just seem like a little less crafty than Luka Doncic, but still has a lot of similar moves as Luka, and gets to his sweet spots in a similar way, and uses his body in a similar way like Luka, I ain't gonna lie, if you're not sold, it's okay, because I'll be sold for you. Luka Doncic is Cade's most popular NBA comparison. Luka's lack of explosion ain't stopping him from dropping 29 a night. Think about it, Cade is an even better athlete and is already a better shooter than Luka. As I said earlier, he's probably not going to be as crafty as Luka, but I trade that any day for the better athleticism and quicker first step that Cade has. That's not going to stop him from being the NBA's next superstar in the making in the next 12 months. Yeah, the 6'8" PG LaMelo Ball is going to be great. He's going to be elite and he may be even a legend one day. But I'm telling you right now that you're worried about the wrong 6'8" point guard and should be focusing on the best player not in the NBA right now, in Cade Cunningham. This is the end of the video though, man. I really do appreciate you for coming over here on my channel and seeing what I have to talk about today. That is, well, as I always say, extremely dope of you, and I really appreciate you for everything that you do. Now, before you go ahead and leave and click off this video like you're in a rush to go ahead and do something, I want you to first off leave a like on this video. Comment down below your thoughts and your opinions about Cade Cunningham. Like I said, like everything that I say in this video is just an opinion and none of it is fact, and the comment section is literally made for us, me and you right now, to have a conversation. That's all I want out of y'all. So go ahead and leave a like, comment, and also share this video. But outside of all that, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. But outside of all that, for real, I just really do hope that you make your day great. Until then, I'll get right with you.
No way, remember back when I couldn't get a play, no home, I ain't have a place to stay, I got to work, made the surf, free the way, told my girl